one of the best reporters in hockey, Michael Russo, regarding the Minnesota Wild, who have two gargantuan lockout causing contracts on their team, Ryan Suter and Zach Parise. As of now, I don't get the impression that the Minnesota Wild have asked Suter or Parise to waive their no moves for the purpose of the expansion draft. Guerin hasn't indicated he'd go that route, but if he does, the deadline is tomorrow. Protected lists have to be submitted by Saturday.
Sitting it! Boo! Good, I'm glad.
Parise
I'll never forgive them.
He doesn't want to be there anymore. Just like let him go to Seattle or something.
Two teams I'll never forgive, the Leafs and the Minnesota Wild. Boo!
So your rivalry with the Minnesota Wild, and specifically, I think it's Chuck Fletcher, right?
What do you think? I wanted to work for the KHL? Your fault, dicks. Thanks for Kaprizov. I will say thanks for Kaprizov.
Yeah. And by the way, apparently the Wild are closing in on a deal with Kaprizov. I don't remember what we speculated the deal was going to be, but I do know that they're speculating this could be an 8-year, $9 million per.
Holy shit.
That's what the speculation was today. I don't know. I don't know what we all talked about, what we picked.
There's no way.
That's the speculation.
That's not. No.
There's
speculation, rumblings. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like you make it very unlikely that it's a great deal by doing that. You lock up Kaprizov, which is great. Kaprizov, who's played exactly 2/3 of an NHL season, because it wasn't even a full one.
No, 55 games is his career.
And you're going to give him $72 million.
No.
Because, oh boy. Because how good would he have to be worth $9 million? And he's got to keep that up for 8 years. Listen, good on his agent if he's able to get it. I guess you really scared him with the whole KHL thing. Believe me, it would be the height of irony and humor for the Minnesota Wild to lose a star to the KHL after what they put me through. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's a very large deal, but at least they'll have Kaprizov for a very long time, as well as Joel Eriksson, who just signed his 8-year deal. That's okay. Sure.
Okay.
I wonder if we're going to see even more 8-year deals just because teams cannot do the short-term big money thing. They just can't right now.
It's interesting that you say that because Vancouver is working on deals for Hughes and Pettersson, and neither of them can do long-term.
And Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah, Nate Schmidt for OEL, straight up.
I mean, Duncan Keith's off the market, so you got to attack.
So they're saying, get your man. They actually have, funnily enough, Luke Fox, who we love here on the show, put together a list of potential buyout candidates for Sportsnet.ca. And who's on the list? Jay Beagle and Antoine Roussel and Louis Eriksson. And, well, Jake Virtanen will be bought out. We know that. That's for obvious reasons.
Yes.
So, they're so screwed that they can't even if their young stars wanted to stay in Vancouver for most of the decade, they can't. They literally cannot afford to do that.
Yo, fire this guy. Vancouver, they're really, because of Jim Benning's work, they're not far away from being good. But also because of Jim Benning's work, they're extremely far away from being good.
The barriers between them and being good are self-inflicted.
It's like wanting a candy bar, and it's on the other side of a wall. You could spin it that you're only a foot away from that candy bar, but in front of you, in your way of that candy bar, is a wall.
But you built the wall.
And you built the wall.
You put the brick and the mortar down. You built the wall.
Went to Home
you were like,
Depot
how great is this wall? And we're like, the candy bar.
And sourced the drywall.
Yeah, literally. You built the wall, Jim. And he was like, what a beautiful wall. I agree. It's a nice wall. It's well put together. It's okay. It's a good wall. It's a wall. I don't know.
The Vancouver Canucks are one of the cars from Pimp My Ride, where you go, okay, yeah, you put a bunch of cool shit in it, I'm very curious about what the insurance is. This thing in the trunk is entirely unnecessary. And like, how many barbecues do you think I'm pulling up to where I'm going to back the car in and have the speakers blasting out the trunk at the function? What do I need? In what situation am I going to be playing PS2 in the backseat of this car? You know what I mean? Like, you watch it, and if you don't think about it too hard, you go, that's a great car. But the moment you start thinking about it, you go, there's a bunch of bells and whistles and shit you could take off, and this would probably be a better car. That's the Canucks. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Can I read?
Well, I said it anyway, so it
Can I read
does.
something, guys?
What, Adam?
Jim Matheson.
Oh, yeah! Gimme!
Guys,
Let's go!
Jim Matheson. Jim Matheson. Edmonton Oilers writer extraordinaire. Used to be NHL by Maddie, is now just Jim Matheson on NHL because his account got hacked. Duncan Keith needs a Brent Seabrook as a D partner, and he'll have one to watch. Sorry, he spelled one WON. He'll have to watch his back if it's Larson in Edmonton. His age isn't indicative of his competition level. He's been relatively injury-free throughout his career. Oilers are in a win-now mode with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nurse. So Keith needs a Brent Seabrook type D partner, and he'll have to watch his back if it's Larson.
I'm very confused. So is he for it or against it?
I don't know. That's why I was bringing it up.
That sounded like he was pro Keith and anti Larson.
I think so. He'll have to watch his back. As in, Larson doesn't play good defense, or?
I'm telling you guys, the trade in a vacuum stinks yucky cheese. But there's a scenario where the Oilers could be better. I'm telling you.
Well, they've got some cap space to play with, so we'll have to see what the Oilers fans were talking about.
Fascinated by that hockey team.
Yep. I'm excited to see tonight what we see in terms of lists submitted, players being asked to waive their no movement clauses for the expansion. Now we're going to find out. We'll see what happens.
We're so close.
We're so close. Jesse.
What's up?
Steve. Guys, do one of you have the list, the definitive list of events happening in the NHL in the next week and a half?
There's the expansion draft on July 21st.
Okay.
NHL draft July 23rd.
Okay.
And 24th. Mm-hmm. Please God, let day 2 go quicker than 2020.
Oh.
It was 8 hours. It's unacceptable. I don't care if it's virtual or not. And then free agency begins July 28th. Now there is something on July 17th.
That's the date for the lists for expansion draft.
That's what I thought so.
Yeah. Deadline for teams to submit protected lists for the 2021 NHL expansion draft, 5 p.m. Eastern on July 17th.
That is going to be interesting.
From Spectre's Hockey, there will be a 5-day freeze on trades, waivers, and free agent signings from July 17th to 21st. Really?
Yeah, because you can't, if you submit your list, then you can't move your roster. You know?
Oh,
so
that makes
sense. From
sense.
Saturday until the draft, you can't do anything because you got to give Vegas time to actually select the guys they want.
So you'd think our next few shows would be rather busy on account of there's a deadline of 5 days from now to get shit done. Eichel?
Well, I wonder. Okay, so here's my thing with the NHL GMs is we all know, like when the situation calls for them to do something, they often don't. So what are the chances we see 0 trades before the expansion draft after this Duncan Keith? And I'm talking 0 like meaningful trades. If you're trading like a 6th rounder for a guy we've never heard of, that doesn't count.
What's a meaningful deal?
I'm talking about
names,
name brand,
names.
What's the chance we see a major trade in the next 4 days? Because I think it's somewhere close to about 10%.
So we're talking about a player making, what is it fair to say, $3 million or more?
Yes, of consequence, a player, a difference maker.
I think there's only a 10% chance of it not happening.
Whoa!
I think there's a 90% chance we're going to see something at least decently large.
Yeah, I think it's very likely you see some just finagling for the expansion draft.
Great word.
Yeah,
finagle.
Great word.